What do you think happens with CBDCs during this? That there will obviously be attempts.
I don't think they're ever going to ship.
Oh, you don't think they ship?
Yeah, just Tether, stable coins lead the dollar evolution, hyper dollarization, in the next 5 years, followed by hyper Bitcoinization.
I mean, China has shipped to CBDC.
Does anyone care about that unit?
I'm just saying, so they have, other people will. You mean that more in like Western liberal democracies, they don't ship?
Okay, maybe that's a hyperbolic statement to say like no CBDCs will ship, but ultimately this like meme of CBDCs will never actually like happen. Like they'll do airdrops, they'll do all this stupid, maybe they'll ship, maybe they won't ship. The ones that ship, they'll do all this like frivolous stuff to try to like get it to catch on. But it's unless my point on why I don't think CBDCs are going to ship is because it's really, really hard to bootstrap a new monetary unit. It's really hard. Even the dollar didn't bootstrap itself. It was built off of gold's monetary, pre-existing monetary unit, which took thousands and thousands of years, millions of years, right? All previous fiat currencies had bootstrapped off of some sort of precious metal standard, right? Bitcoin is already bootstrapping. It's using some alchemy of like proof of work, energy, market, to come up with its price, but it has bootstrapped a monetary unit. I don't think that it's going to be that easy for central banks to bootstrap new monetary units just like that in a world where Bitcoin exists and, stable coins exist, the dollar standard. Like the dollar standard, Bitcoin is not what's going to murder the fiat standards across the globe. It's the dollar. The dollar is coming through. Its liquidity is just destroying everything. If you're in Lebanon, you're begging for tethers and USDCs. That's going to continue. I don't know if the US is going to nationalize all these stable coins, but these stable coins are demand for treasury. They provide treasury demand, so they're part of the dollar system. I don't think other central banks are going to beat the dollar. I think the only thing that's going to beat the dollar is Bitcoin.
So you think it's going to be more like the free banking era that Nick Carter wrote about, whereby there will be stable coins. Nick
Bartier?
No. Nick Carter wrote about the free banking era. Nick Bartier on our show talked to us about a more kind of like bank issued. So you'd have your Wells Fargo dollar and you would have your Chase dollar. And
it's easy again, the dollar extension game.
But there's a lot of logic to having a blockchain-based digital dollar
That's the dollar.
Right now.
Yeah.
If you're in Lebanon, if you're in Turkey, if you're in Argentina, yeah, you might want some Bitcoin, but really day to day, you need dollar. You need the dollar to be able to price goods, to be able to trade, to be able to protect your wealth.
That's why liquidity is so important. That's what I'm talking about. Like we hit the vertical part of the S curve when Bitcoin's economy is comparable and not before. Until then, you'll always need liquidity in the opposing system unless you make some sort of sacrifice to stay within the Bitcoin economy.
In some ways, as a rallying call to Bitcoiners, should we also give a little bit of extend the rope a little bit to Tron and Ethereum, because they are providing the platforms for digital dollars which are useful for people? Like, should we stop that fight?
Yeah, I don't think Bitcoiners should waste their time with shitcoiners at all. Like, those are just people that are marginally closer to becoming Bitcoiners.
But are they also providing value by allowing the movement of these dollars around the world, which supports Bitcoin?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that stable coins are useful. I think that you need liquidity to have an effective economy. The traditional system is obviously way more liquid, even though it has its flaws. That's a dollar-based system. I think stable coins are an extension of that existing system, which makes them, they're skeuomorphic, they're whatever. They don't have a lot of the benefits of Bitcoin, but they do have the benefits of dollars, which is that they're more liquid and everyone already operates on them. So yeah, they're part of the transition. I think that stable coins are part of this transition. I have no animosity towards Ethereum or Tron or anything else. I'm glad those things exist, and those things are of Bitcoin, and they're part of this transition to hyper-Bitcoinization. We need bridges. We need intermediate steps towards 21 million. It's going to be messy. People have to literally change their entire worldview in mass, right? And like people say like, oh, we're at 1% adoption, 5% adoption. No, we're not. We're at 0.01% global adoption. Okay. Like the best estimates is that there's, hundreds of millions of Bitcoin users, and there's 7 billion people going on 8 billion people. Like
do the math.
That's a pretty small percentage of people that like literally need to change how they see the world to get onto this economy. And that gets easier over time, and there's less gains over time. But, we need things to transition them. Like tethers are transitionary tools.